Yes, I did. Yeah, went and watched it. And to be perfectly honest, what I anticipated before I even looked at the tape, it was there. We did not come out and play like a a desperate team. I think in the playoffs, I think you have to treat every game like it's going to be your last game. Um, I thought we came out and played like we really accomplished something in Chicago by getting home court advantage. Game two that we played, we played okay and positioned ourselves to win, and then we come home for game three. We have home court advantage. Um, we have Chicago where we want them. Um, and we came in and completely let our guards down. And watching the first quarter of the game, and when I call that timeout after 49 seconds, I sensed it right away. That we did not come out with a sense of urgency. We did not make the commitment in games one and two that we made, um, that we should have made in game three. It was very clear and very obvious after I called that timeout from what I saw, and then going back and watching the tape, that we just didn't come out with that verb.
Have you, and you've been there for a little while now, have you ever been involved with a group of individuals at any level in basketball, high school, college, pro, AAU, anything that was just so up and down and just completely would blindside you, like something like what happened
Well,
last night?
I will admit that I do have an interesting group. I said that I said that before our series against Orlando, the way we finished the regular season, and then how we flipped that switch against Orlando and came back and played the way we played. I will admit I have an interesting group. And I know those guys are capable of that. And what happened, what happened last night, it did catch me off guard. I just really felt that we would really come and start that game too energized. I was expecting a lot of early turnovers, of us trying to make plays that weren't there. Very similar to Game 3 in Orlando. I thought we started that game just too hyped. I thought we had too much energy. I had to kind of like tone them down, and I really felt that's how we would come out last night against Chicago, particularly after how we played, the first two games, and then feeling good about coming home, and here we are playing the team that, best record in the league. I just thought that I was going to have to find a way to tone my guys down, but not to get the energy early, and why that happened, I don't know, but that caught me off guard.
The way that Jeff is attacking the paint and getting inside, do you think that'll open up some opportunities for Al and Josh maybe to get some easy buckets in the post?
Yeah, I think Jeff is doing a wonderful job just in attacking. Clearly, his speed has really been very effective for us. He has the ability to turn the corner and get in there and get to the basket or dish it off the other guys. But he's done a really good job with that. He is a very unique player, I think, with the way he can get in there, and he has a good in between game to where he can get in the paint and get it over big guys with floaters. But certainly, we're hoping that he can continue to do that, and if the defense does collapse, that he can get the ball to our big guys. But it's going to take it's going to take everybody just stepping their game up. Jeff has done a great job. Hopefully, he can play even better. You know, Joe is going to have to step up. Josh Smith is going to have to step his game up. Al is going to have to step his game up. Jamal, Marvin, you know, all of our bench guys. You know, this is the playoffs, and this is what playoff basketball is all about. It's about stepping your games up, taking your games to another level.
Joe seemed a bit frustrated last night, and basically almost saying like, I've got to start putting some shots up. I can't try to pass it off every time, and kind of where he was getting the ball. I think his comment was like, every time I got it, I was buried in the corner. Do you sense the frustration in him, or talk to him about that, and kind of maybe doing some things to get him some more looks, or him put the ball out more?
I certainly sense that. I mean, you know, obviously their game plan is to first of all, they're playing him physical. You know, if he's not being double teamed, they've climbed up in him, and he's going to have to just combat that. You know, there are a lot of key players on teams that other players play physical against, and they just combat it. You know, there are a lot of key players that they get double teams. They play out of double teams. You know, a lot of playing out of double teams is not necessarily trying to beat the double team, but making plays, and you have to show a willingness to give the ball up and trust your teammates. You know, if you continue to try to beat the double team by yourself, you're playing into, I think, the opposition's hand. We did a good job with that against Orlando. Orlando ran a very similar. You know, the game plan was to take it out of his hand, double team him, that whole thing. But we you know, we made the right plays out of it. You know, but when you're playing against a team that obviously is going to play, you know, they're going to try to roughhouse you and play you physical. Again, you just have to combat that. You know, a lot of these great players around the league, they face it every single night. You know, and the way to combat it is not to get frustrated with it. You know, you gotta look at how they play you. You gotta watch film. You just have to combat it. You know, don't put yourself in situations of where they can just constantly be up in you. You know, draw fouls. You know, that's one of the, you know, I think that's one of the things that I think we need to look to do more of, versus that type of pressure when they're playing us like that, when they're up in us, when they're holding and grabbing us. We gotta look to draw fouls.
Coach, I know that Derek Rose has a lot to contend with himself, but did you expect his backup to come in, C.J. Watson, and do some of the things that Watson did?
Yeah, Watson did hurt us last night. You know, certainly Rose is a load by himself, but we have to do a better job with Watson and all their bench guys. You know, they have a really good bench. I take nothing away from their bench, but we have to just do a much better job in defending them. You know, when Corver comes into the game, we know they're going to be running him off screens. Watson pick and rolls. You know, Gibson just his hustle and his being on the glass, and you know, all their bench guys are capable, and we just have to do a much better job against Watson and the rest of the guys.
I know it's not really Joe's style. His style is more kind of deliberate, setting guys up. But would it help him to play a little faster, make quicker decisions?
Without a doubt. Yeah. Just, I mean, when you know teams are playing you, particularly the way they're playing Joe, you got to do things faster. You know, and that was something that we put a lot of emphasis in at the start of the playoffs going against Orlando, is for him to do things much faster. They're not going to let you get the ball and just jockey around with it. They're going to be on top of you right away. So you definitely have to do things just a lot faster. You got to look for your shot a lot. Your moves have to be quicker and then up until your shot. You know, just jockeying around, trying to create space and trying to go one-on-one against a set defense the way that they play him. Chances are it's going to be tough for him. But if he does things just a little quicker, coming off screens, looking to shoot the ball right away, those are the kind of things that free you up.